The need for environmental justice considerations goes back to the early 1990s with an executive order signed by President Bill Clinton that sought to strengthen EPA's consideration of minority and low-income groups and the impacts that emissions and environmental releases might have on communities that predominantly have that type of makeup. That executive order then led to a policy development on the part of the agencies, and it now has become a part of new source review and greenhouse gas permitting requirements in many states. So a company that seeks to expand their facilities or build a major new facility that requires air permitting must go through an environmental justice analysis and make certain demonstrations to satisfy the EPA's policy in that regard. An environmental justice analysis includes two basic steps. The demonstration requires that you show that disadvantaged populations are not treated unfairly or impacted disproportionately to other populations. The other aspect is to demonstrate that those populations have fair and adequate access to the permitting process. So it's our job to take into consideration all the emissions and releases and discharges might be associated with the new facility, make a determination as to how that may or may not impact disadvantaged populations, the targeted populations, or the protected populations, I should say in this case, that are defined within the environmental justice policies, and show whether or not those impacts would be disproportionate. The other part of the analysis has to do with evaluating the opportunities for public participation in the permitting process. A lot of that's dictated by regulatory requirements on the permitting rules, but companies also decide to do a number of things that go beyond the regulatory requirements in terms of voluntary community outreach, public meetings, forums, web pages, hotlines. So all of those kinds of options need to be considered and described in the environmental justice analysis.